Why did the mighty Ottoman Empire, once stretching from the gates of Vienna to the deserts of Arabia, never plant its flag in the New World? The 16th century was the age of empires, but not all empires sailed west. While Spain, Portugal, and later England and France were racing across oceans, carving colonies out of distant continents, the Ottomans, arguably the most powerful Muslim empire of the time, watched from the sidelines. And that decision may have altered the course of global history forever. At its height, the Ottoman Empire ruled over 3 continents. Its armies were feared in Europe, its navy dominated the Mediterranean, and its capital, Constantinople, was one of the greatest cities in the world. Yet, when news of a new world reached European courts, the Ottomans barely blinked. Why? The truth lies in geography, priorities, and a sense of self-assured dominance. The Ottomans didn't see the Atlantic Ocean as their concern. Their attention was fixed on rival empires closer to home, like the Safavids in Persia, the Mamluks in Egypt, and the Habsburgs in Europe. Colonizing unknown lands across a dangerous ocean seemed unnecessary when they already ruled so much. But was it a mistake? Consider this: when the Portuguese began sailing around Africa, they weren't just exploring. They were bypassing the Ottoman-controlled trade routes. For centuries, the Ottomans had profited immensely from taxing goods flowing between Europe and Asia. Spices, silks, and precious stones all passed through their territory. But European ships began to change that. The Ottomans were being outflanked, not on land, but at sea. By the time they realized the full threat, it was already too late. Spain had poured gold from the Americas into its coffers. Portugal had snatched up coastal colonies from Brazil to India. England and France followed. And the Ottomans? They doubled down on their Mediterranean strongholds, occasionally clashing with European navies, but never mounting a serious campaign across the Atlantic. There were moments, though, when things could have turned out differently. Some Ottoman thinkers proposed expeditions westward. One Ottoman admiral, Piri Reis, even drew detailed maps of the Americas. But these were isolated efforts, drowned out by the empire's overwhelming focus on its immediate neighbors. And then there's the question of religion. Unlike the European powers who saw colonization as a divine mission to spread Christianity, the Ottomans were more cautious about projecting Islam to distant, non-Muslim lands by force. Their model of rule was built on incorporating existing populations, not wiping them out. They ruled over Christians, Jews, and others often tolerantly, though always with Ottoman supremacy at the center. That approach didn't quite fit the brutal realities of New World colonization. But make no mistake, had the Ottomans entered the colonial race, history might have unfolded very differently. Imagine a Muslim colony in South America, or Ottoman mosques rising beside the jungles of the Amazon. What would that world have looked like? In the end, the Ottomans missed their moment. As the West expanded across oceans, the empire turned inward. Its power waned while Europe grew rich on conquest and commerce. And when the tide of history finally turned against the Ottomans in the 19th and 20th centuries, there was no overseas wealth to cushion the fall, no colonies to draw from, no distant lands to retreat to. The empire that once held the keys to Europe and Asia stood still, while the world sailed away. If you're fascinated by these crossroads of history, the moments when a single decision could have changed everything, subscribe to TriviaTales. Because understanding the past isn't just about what happened. It's about what almost did.